Welcome back to your Aces franchise. If you missed the last episode, we faced off against the Texas Rangers, and we also made some roster moves, switching around some positions. We moved Kyle McCann as our starting catcher, and we moved Elehuris Montero to third base and Arraez to shortstop. In this episode, I want to make some roster moves because I feel like we don't necessarily have the fringe MLB players that I thought that we did. So I want to go pick up some more, maybe some guys who haven't really proved themselves yet, who I think could prove themselves if they were given the more time to play. So let's go ahead and check that out. The first guy I want to look at trading for is Corey Julks. I don't think he's a great player, but I think he has decent attributes, and he's not playing a lot, so I feel like he could be pretty good for us. He plays a lot of different positions, which is honestly what we need. So I think I'm going to offer this trade Mark Vientos, who's a prospect for us, but I think that we can have better prospects in the future. He's already 24, and Elehuris Montero is 25. So I'm not sure that he's really going to have a spot on the roster, as well as he only plays a few other positions, but his defense is not that great. So I'm going to go ahead and offer this trade. The next guy I wanted to look to make a trade for was Mark Leiter Jr. This is another reliever who I think will be honestly pretty good for us. He's only played in 22 games and 24 innings so far for the Cubs, but he's been very good. He is about to reach arbitration, and so this could be a good guy to flip at the trade deadline for us. So I'm going to offer Shane McGuire. This is one of our catching prospects, and I'm going to offer them that, and let's see what they'll do. Next trade I wanted to make was trading for Nick Senzel and Eddie Rosario. I know it seems like I'm making a lot of moves, but I think these are the type of moves that we need to make in order to have some people that we can trade at the trade deadline to get more prospects. So I'm going to look to trade for Nick Senzel and Eddie Rosario. Nick Senzel's only played in 27 games so far, but he's been pretty decent with 4 home runs, 3 doubles, 18 RBIs. Is very good in 27 games. And he can play almost every position besides first base and catcher. So I think this will be a really good pickup for us, as well as Eddie Rosario, who's another outfielder, and he's only played in 39 games for them, but he's been pretty good too. I think this is another guy who I think that we can flip at the trade deadline. He's a free agent after this year, so good value out of him. And to them, I'm going to offer Alex Fido, which is one of our starting pitchers who's not doing very good this season to start off, but I wanted to clear room for Aaron Kidd. This is one of our created prospects from you guys, and I feel like he's ready to play. He's going to be a rookie. He's doing pretty good in AAA. I mean, a 1.51 ERA is outstanding. So I'm going to move him up once we make this trade. And then I'm also offering Brett Wisely. This is another guy who can just play a bunch of positions for them. He's not a great fielder, or he is a great fielder, but he's not a great hitter. And so he's just another guy who's like a fringe MLB player who's not going to play for us. As well as I'm offering Adrian Martinez, who I do think is actually a pretty good pitcher with that walks per 9, but he just isn't playing for us, and I feel that I would rather have good hitting compared to one good relief pitcher. So I'm going to offer this trade. So now that we've made that trade, we need to move down 3 players in order to have these players on our roster. So let's go ahead and look at the MLB roster. So we have a bunch of low overall relief pitchers, but that's not who I really want to move, as that is our whole bullpen. And I think I might move down Michael Kelly actually. So let's go ahead and move him to AAA. I'm also going to move up Aaron Kidd. So that's another spot that we'll need to fix. I'm probably going to move down Osvaldo Bido. Even though he is doing decent, it's just the walks per 9 is so low. And if you know MLB The Show franchise, that walks per 9 basically defines how good of a pitcher you're going to be. If it's lower, you're going to be terrible. If it's higher, you're going to be really good. So I'm going to go ahead and move him down to AAA. That leaves us with 2 more that we need to move down. And I think I'm going to move down Brian Mata. He's doing pretty bad. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's only 24 years old, so I think giving him a year in AAA to just build up those stats and work on attributes will be good for him. The last player I want to move down is Elehuris Montero. If we go to first base, we have another created player from you guys, Ryan Connors. He's got very good statistics, and I think he's honestly going to make more of an impact than Elehuris Montero. And if we look at his stats, let's go look at how many errors he has. 6 errors already, and a negative 1.6 WAR. So we are losing games just because he's in the lineup. So I'm going to go and move him down to AAA. I still think that he'll be a decent prospect going forward as he's only 25, but I think just right now it's not a good fit for us. So let's go ahead and hop into a game. Before we hop into a game, we need to actually fix our lineup. So let's go ahead and figure out who's going to be playing where. So we are missing a third baseman, and I think I'm going to move Ryan Connors to that position at the 4 hole with that power. And then I'm also going to add Eddie Rosario into our DH spot or over Lawrence Butler, just because he's younger. He is doing pretty decent, but I think he's going to need to look at Eddie Rosario as a mentor, and I think Eddie Rosario can kind of give off some of that. I think Eddie Rosario will be able to give off some of that info to Lawrence Butler, and that will help improve him a lot. So then, moving over against lefties, I definitely want to have Nick Senzel in against lefties, just considering those attributes against lefties. So we're going to split off Ryan Connors and Nick Senzel there. Now I'm going to hop into a game, and I'm going to player lock some of our new players. That'll bring up Ryan Connors, your created player at first base. So let's go ahead and see how he does in his first at-bat this season. The 0-1 pitch from Cal Quantrill to Ryan Connors. Let's see what Connors can do. In his first at-bat, he's going to take that ball high. I really think that we might have a hidden gem here with Ryan Connors, considering that power number. So I think this could be a guy who hits 20-20 home runs. So let's see how he does in his first at-bat. Definitely looking to get his first hit here. See what he can do. And that's a hit up the middle. And that should drive in the run from second. Let's see. And he will be safe. And that is Ryan Connors' first MLB hit and first career RBI. So good job, Ryan Connors. That's what we like to see. That'll bring us to the bottom of the second with Eddie Rosario up. See what he can do in his first at-bat of his ace's career. 1-2 pitch. Taken for a ball. Now, Eddie Rosario, I'm not sure if you guys can remember, but he actually was NLCS MVP, and he was great in that. When the Braves won the World Series, he was a great add-on for them. So I think he can be pretty decent for us as he strikes out swinging right there. That'll bring us to Ryan Connors' second at-bat of the game, and I just want to give him one more at-bat in the player lock and see how he does. He's already got his first career MLB hit and his first career RBI, so maybe looking to add on that elusive home run here. Let's see what he can do. That's a ground ball to shortstop. See if he can beat it out. Not the greatest speed, and he will be out for his second at-bat. That brings us to the top of the fifth, and I want to go show Aaron Kidd out. He's been pitching this whole game so far, and he's been pitching a great game. So good job, Aaron. Let's see what he can do here in the 5th inning against 4-time All-Star, 1-time MVP Chris Bryant. 0-2 count. Let's see if Bryant will chase the changeup low. And he does not.
Yeah, 1-2.
Got to challenge him here. Let's go for a fastball high and outside. Aaron Kidd's got the stuff. That'll be popped up. I think Aaron Kidd can be a big contributor to our pitching rotation, as that's a ground ball to shortstop. Rise Fields fired cleanly, and that's the first out of the 5th inning. Oh no. Oh no. It looks like Aaron Kidd might have pulled something in the obliques of the ab region. He will need to be removed from the game. That is not what you want to see in a debut. As he's out of this game, we'll have to bring in a reliever.
Over to the right.
Not what you want to see, Aaron Kidd. He was pitching a great game so far. So good job, but let's see what he's looking like after the game. That brings us to after the game, where Aaron Kidd strained his oblique, but will only be out for a few days, so that's very good for us. So we'll keep him active. Now, I want to send him to the beginning of June, and then we'll play in the next episode. We will play this game against Seattle. But for now, let's go ahead and sim through the rest of May and the beginning of June. That brings us to the bottom of the 6th against Kyle Freeland, who's pitching a very good game for Colorado. We're looking for the sweep here. We have Kyle Stowers up with bases loaded, no outs. Let's see what we can do. Kyle Stowers out, 2 outs, bottom 6th. Looking to drive in 2 runs possibly here. See what he'll do against Kyle Freeland. The pitch swung on for a strike. Kyle Stowers not great with runners in scoring position this season. Let's see what he can do here. As he fouls off that Kyle Stowers, the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Taken for a ball. Close call right there. Let's see what Stowers can do. A 2-2 count. Kyle Freeland, 85 pitches already. As that one's popped, and that should be the 3rd out of the inning. And it will be. Let's see if there's a high importance situation to jump in for the rest of this game. And that will be the end of the game as the Rockies get the win and we will not sweep them. Let's continue to sim. That brings us to the game against the Rays. Phil Maton on the mound. We're down by 2. We're down by 2. Bases loaded. Let's see what Victor Robles will do. And I think this is the first time we've seen Victor Robles so far this season. So let's go ahead and see what he can do. Victor Robles up. Not having a great season, but let's see if he can turn things around right here against Phil Maton.
Yeah, fouled off. The last thing he wants is to hit.
Victor Robles, 0-2 count. Looking to turn his season around as he fouls off that sweeping curve. And they will say he went on the slurve. And that will be the 2nd out of the inning, but that brings up Nelson Velasquez having himself a good series, 3 for 11 with a home run. See if he can get another RBI right here.
Leverage situation.
Yeah, but not sure what the numbers say, but clearly an at-bat that could change.
And that's a ground ball. Up the middle. 2 runs will score. The throw to 3rd. And that's a tie game. Nelson Velasquez comes through with his 3rd RBI of the series. Nice job, Velasquez. That'll bring in the reliever, Garrett Clevenger, as he comes in hoping to limit this game tied. Let's see. We have Dominic Smith up. Dom Smith, probably our best hitter so far. Let's see what he can do. That's a deep foul ball. Going on to Rosarena, but he will not make the catch. Dom Smith already with the double and 2 RBIs in this game. See if he can add another RBI here. 1-1, Dom Smith. Fouled off. And he will swing way too early, and he will not be happy about that. Let's see if we have another high importance leverage situation to hop into. And we will not, as that will be the end of the game for your Aces as we lose. In the bottom of the 8th inning, they will score 1 run, and that will be all that it takes for your Aces. That brings us to the bottom of the 8th in the game against the Braves. Mark Leiter Jr. on the mound, our recently acquired pitcher. Pitching. He needs to hold here. See what he can do. A 1-2 pitch from Mark Leiter Jr. Splitter low. Let's see if David Fletcher will chase. And he hits a ground ball to 3rd base. Fielded and thrown to 1st by Nick Senzel.
Oh, there's a lot.
That'll be the 2nd out of the 8th inning.
Bear down, make 30, get the ground.
That brings up Austin Riley, the big slugger. Let's see if Leiter can get out of this inning unscathed. 3-1 count. Ozzie Albies on deck. Looking to get out of it right here so he doesn't have to face Albies. That will be strike 2. Full count from Mike Leiter Jr. against Austin Riley. Let's see what he can do. And he swings on the cutter. And that will get out of the inning for Mark Leiter Jr., our recently acquired relief pitcher. What a good job right there, and a nasty pitch right there. Mark Leiter Jr., celebrate that one. And that will win the game for your Aces. And that's a big win for us right there against Atlanta. A tougher opponent. So good job, Aces. Let's continue to sim. Before we start simming, I want to give a shout out to Aaron Kidd right here. He just came back from injury, and look at that game that he pitched against the Braves of all teams. So good job, Aaron Kidd. And man, we're looking to see some more out of him because he is looking like a future ace for us. And right after that game, we get the notification Eric Haas is no longer injured and has come off the injured list. So we will put him back into the lineup. Let's see if he can come back into play. That brings us into the third game of the series against the Braves, with the score tied, 2 runners on base for Eric Haas, who already has a home run and 2 RBIs today. Let's see if your aces can get the sweep. Eric Haas having a great season, hitting .417. His first game back. Let's see what he can do with 2 runners on. Already a home run today. See what will happen. The 1-1 pitch from Matzek. Eric Haas ready at plate. Let's see what he can do. So that one's fouled back just early. As he strikes out swinging on the curveball low. That will bring up Kyle Stowers, already a single today. Looking to change around this series for him and drive in a run to give the Aces the lead going into the 9th inning. See what he'll do.
Pitch, leave something out.
Stowers will pop that one up to shortstop, and Albies will field it. And that will end the 8th. Let's see if we can get another situation here.
And even it up late.
And we will not, as the Braves will take the lead and will win this game in the 9th inning. That brings us to June 4th against the Mariners, and looking back at the sim, you can see we played some good games against Colorado and then proceeded to get swept by Houston and then swept by Tampa Bay before we almost swept Atlanta, losing 1 game and winning 2. So I want to show off one more of your created players before this episode is over. So let's go ahead and head over to shortstop. I want to show off Drew Swift. This is a creative player. He's very, very, very good at fielding, and he's not great at hitting, but I think that this guy could come up pretty soon. With that fielding, this is a guy who could definitely win a Gold Glove. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and put a like down and comment below if you are new and you would like to be added as a prospect. As you can see, we've already had some of our prospects come up and show off how good they are. Let's go ahead and look right now. Ryan Connors hitting .233 with 2 home runs. And let's go look at Aaron Kidd, our future ace, is a 1.64 ERA in 11 innings pitched. So if you would like to be added, go ahead and comment your name below and a position. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.